With the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild being shown at E3 2019 and E3 2020 coming up in only a few months, fans have had almost a year to speculate for new ideas for the Breath of the Wild sequel. Here are some of the ideas I've compiled for the Breath of the Wild 2. First, I want to go through some cool gameplay mechanics that could be shown in the sequel. First, we have underwater exploration. In the Breath of the Wild first game, it was cool exploring like Zora River and the Lurelin Village Sea and a bunch of water areas, but I wanted to go underwater and really explore that area because I feel like I was just limited to the surface world. So with the whole Zora storyline, I feel like we could maybe go underwater with them. You could see underwater temples, underwater maybe ruins or sunken ships. That would be cool. And I feel like East Reservoir Lake would be the perfect spot to maybe have an underwater maybe tutorial area. I feel like the Zoras could be used in many different ways. And another idea I had were saltwater Zoras, where I know we see freshwater Zoras in like rivers and lakes, but I feel like there could be a type of story arc or something in like a sea with saltwater Zoras. I haven't played many past Zelda games, so I don't really know how many Zoras have been shown or what types, but I feel like it would be really cool to see them not just in freshwater areas and saltwater areas too. Another thing is cave exploration. Just like water and underwater exploration, I feel like cave exploration should be shown because I feel like a big part of Zelda is caves. You got Death Mountain, you have just many different cave areas, and I think that's a necessity for an open world game. And it could also house just like underwater areas, dungeons, ruins, and maybe we've seen that we can go inside places like in Hyrule Castle, and there's some type of caves there, and it was a lot of fun exploring them, so I feel like cave exploration would be really cool. It would be just like dungeons from past Zelda games, so like underwater ruins and cave ruins could be places, and it would be really fun exploring them, going maybe like Pikmin 2 and going deeper and deeper and deeper to levels, or just catacombs or something like that would be really cool. Another thing is aerial exploration. Now we could go in the air with the paraglider, with if you light grass on fire or you get a like a current in the air, you can fly up, but I really wanted to explore aerial exploration. In the Attack on Valmetto, we see that Link is on top of Teba, and I feel like his character could be used more, so I feel like if we get more storyline to the Ritos, aerial exploration would be really cool. Maybe we could ride a Rito, because we do see Hyrule Castle rise in the trailer, so I think it would be really cool to explore the air and bring the open world area to life, I feel. Another theory is Loft Wings could be introduced from Skyward Sword, just because Hyrule Castle is rising. I don't know what happens to Skyloft yet after Skyward Sword because I haven't finished the game yet, but I feel like some theories have come up there and speculation with them being introduced. Now I think just like riding Ritos or Loftwing, it would be a lot of fun to ride Zoras and Gorons. That would be really cool. We've seen Link ride on Sidon's back on the Attack on Varuta, so I think riding different Zoras would be a lot of fun. We see the entire Zora River when you're traveling to Zora's domain, so I feel like maybe in a chase sequence we could be escaping Zora's domain, maybe if Ganon attacks there and we could be riding a Zora. That would be a really cool chase sequence. And maybe if we want to get down Death Mountain, we could ride a Goron. So I think that riding Gorons and Zoras would make really cool chase sequences, just like riding a Rito. Now, I think that new landscapes could be shown in the Breath of the Wild sequel. We do see landscapes like deserts, mountains, forests, snowy areas, a volcano, a canyon, but I feel like there were some missing that could be really cool to be shown in the Breath of the Wild sequel. We could see swamps, where I know we had the wetlands for the Lanayru wetlands, but I feel like a more swampy area with like less water and more of, I don't know, more of like a vegetation place, kind of like Farron area, the jungle mixed with the wetlands. I saw a cool picture of fan art there, and it could provide new monsters because I know there weren't that many in the first Breath of the Wild game. New monsters would be really cool, and I think fans would really enjoy that in a new swamp area. Next we have Savannah. Now I don't think this is too likely to happen, but I think it would still be really cool to see a really open area with new creatures that we could see, new rideable areas. We could see like a village and some staples. But I just feel like a savannah would be a cool place to explore in a Breath of the Wild sequel. Now, I think that a tropical story area could be introduced. Yes, we got Lurelin Village with some palm trees and a little like village there, but I want like a full tropical area with like coral reefs maybe, sandy beaches, more palm trees, bigger palm trees maybe, and seeing that maybe we could go underwater. I think that a more like coral reef area would be really cool to explore. Yes, a lot of like a bay area, we could see more enemies. I feel like the different landscapes set up a lot more possibilities. Another thing that I feel like could be introduced is the Goron mines. I know we saw the northern mine, I believe, in Death Mountain, but I feel like I want to see like underground, just like cave exploration. All these landscapes and maybe story areas they could go in with the big gameplay mechanics. So I think that we could see more of the Goron mines, like right inside the caves the Goron's mining. That would be really cool. And just like I mentioned in underwater exploration or riding Zoras, I feel like Zora River could be shown with like a really big chase sequence. Now I feel like the area with the most fan speculation is the 8 Heroines area. I think that's what you call it. It's 8 big statues all in like a circle, and I think there's a shrine there, but I feel like us just seeing a shrine there isn't enough. I feel like there's some more form of story area there that I feel like we could explore. That's where maybe the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 takes place. Maybe the trailer is all chopped up in different areas. There's so many different landscapes where the trailer could have taken place. Maybe it's in the Great Plateau. Maybe it's under Hyrule Castle. Maybe it's in the 8 Heroines. Maybe it's in some random place we haven't seen yet. So I feel like I feel like the 8 Heroines have more stuff to give in the next Zelda game. Now for story elements. We see in the trailer that there's this figure who has bright eyes, and I feel like we all know that it's Ganondorf. Yes, there's a possibility that it's another person, probably is knowing Nintendo, but we see the Gerudo markings, we see the hair, we see just the overall design. I feel like this has to be Ganondorf. We did see Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild, but a lot of people are saying that Calamity Ganon isn't really Ganon. I don't know what that's about, but I feel like Ganondorf is going to have a bigger role in this. Another theory I saw was a sage, or the sages were holding Ganondorf in place like the seal. We actually see the seal, and maybe he broke free and we see Link holding one of them or something. So I don't know what that's about, but I feel like that's the sages holding Ganon in place. Maybe when Zelda and Link go down there, the seal finally breaks and Ganon's finally free. So I don't know, but I feel like the sages have something more to show in the next Zelda game. Another thing in the trailer was that Hyrule Castle was rising, and a lot of people are thinking, is it going to be in the air? Is it going to be flying? But what I've thought about more is the crater that it's going to be leaving. Is it going to be just open catacombs and caves? Because if Hyrule Castle comes up, it's going to carry stuff with it. So you're going to see that big crater there. And could it just be ruins there or just dirt? Because I know if Hyrule Castle is rising, then there has to be some type of area there. And yeah, I think that's it for story elements. There's so much that we don't know about this game that could be shown. Now for the release date of the Breath of the Wild sequel, it hasn't been shown that much at all basically, except in E3 2019, but I firmly believe that it's going to be shown at E3 2020. It could even be right off the bat, because I think Nintendo just wanted to show us it's in development. We waited so long for other games. I don't know why people thought it was going to be shown right at the next direct, because it's been there for like 3. It takes a long time to make a Zelda game, so I don't know why people thought that It was gonna come right the next Direct. I think Nintendo just wanted to get us hyped for it. So I do think that's gonna be shown at E3 2020. Could be right off the bat, could be right at the end, but I firmly believe that a maybe 2-3 minute or just gameplay trailer will be shown. I really want to see the gameplay of it. Is it the same from Breath of the Wild? Is it different? Is there new mechanics? Is the shrine still there? Another thing is the runes are still there, that Link's abilities. Is that there? And for the release date, 2020, 2021, I don't really know. I do think that it's gonna come in 2021, maybe with the Switch Pro. Nintendo did say that the Switch Pro won't be coming in 2020, so that gives more possibilities for it to be in 2021, because as I said on my Switch Pro video, Nintendo has a master plan, I believe, for all the years. So we already have Animal Crossing, we already have Xenoblade for 2020. Yes, there's probably going to be another thing later in the year, a holiday title. Probably not as big as 2019, where there was everything at the end of 2019. But I feel like maybe early 2021, Switch Pro's going to launch. Maybe even on the release date of the original Switch, that would be cool. And then I feel like Breath of the Wild will be shown on the Switch Pro. And the last thing I want to show, or make ideas about for Breath of the Wild 2, is the name. Now, I heard one prediction from Arlo. I was watching him. Shout out to his YouTube channel. And for his prediction for 2020, he said that it would be called Breath of the Void. Now, I think this is a great idea. It looks really cool and sounds really nice, but seriously, I don't really know what's gonna happen. It's a great idea, but Nintendo really never does what's expected, so I don't even know if there will be a Breath of the whatever it's called. It may just be The Legend of Zelda, a whole new title or something. It could just be Breath of the Wild 2. It could just be, I don't really know. Unless we see, probably gonna be a title for it at the end of the next trailer, but I'll stay tuned for the next trailer at E3 2020. I will make a video about that, like I made my January and February, kind of fan-made Direct, so I'm gonna be happy to make that. I just don't want to make it too soon, because I know that there's still a couple months between now and E3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really hyped for Breath of the Wild 2. If you are, leave a comment in the comment section below. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Potato Sensei, out.